Bengals in Nashville. We've got questions about Zach Taylor. We've got questions about Joe Burrow. We've got questions about the defense. We've got questions about pretty much everything coming up here next on Blue Collar Bengals.
Oh man, oh man. What's going on, Drew? How are we feeling about this game?
I'm a very, very sad human being.
Mm-hmm.
I feel deflated. I feel concerned. I feel sad. I feel fat. Just all of it. Everything bad.
I didn't say that. You said that.
I did. Yeah.
But welcome to Blue Collar Bengals, everybody. We are here on this somber Monday after a rout. Would you call that a rout? I think I would.
Yeah, that's putting it nicely.
Yeah, didn't score a touchdown. Looked not good at football for some simplistic, politically correct terms there. Offense didn't exist. Defense played like they forgot how to play football. Drew and I both love this team and love these guys and always support them. However, holy crap, a spade was a spade this Sunday, Drew. What are your where do you want to start, huh?
Let's start with the first drive. I was firing the tweet out, getting the word out. I'll scroll through some comments here as I make the point, just to shout out the people in the chat. But the first drive of the game looked damn good, did it not? I mean, it's an 11-play drive if you count the field goal. I think that if you look at the 10 plays before that, you've got a 50-50 split, 5 runs, 5 passes. I think that is great. I think that Mixon was running the ball effectively. I think the Bengals on the first drive were owning the line of scrimmage, which was a shock to an extent against the front, kind of like how Tennessee has. And then they get to 3rd and 6, or 3rd and goal from the 6, I think it is. And they run. So Burrow throws a ball that's damn near picked off, intended for T. Higgins in the end zone. And then they run on 3rd and 6. They get 3, and then they kick a field goal. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where shit started to go south, because if you're going to run the ball on 3rd and 6, why is the plan not to go for it?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't understand that either. It appeared that the run game was maybe going to be our friend this game. However, it didn't end up resulting in 6 at all. I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. No free ads. It didn't work at all. I'm at the point where I'm concerned about Zach Taylor's optimism in taking the ball first. I think that last year and maybe the year before, we could take the ball first and run down and punch it in and get up 7 real quick, but we can't even score freaking touchdowns, man. So I don't know how we're going to expect to not get the ball at the half. And then Tennessee's up, 20-something to 3 at the half. And I know we're not at the half yet. And you want to talk first half first, but it just, when they went up 17-3, it just felt like it was over. And last year, I didn't really ever have that feeling.
Yeah, it was a very dejected feeling just with how this offense and this team has looked this season. To see them finally put a drive together where Burrow looked decisive. He knew exactly where he was throwing the ball. He's putting the balls on guys in stride, on these shorter routes that they're still running. And then just I just, that was my first reaction. I said, okay, if you're going to run the ball on 3rd and 6, 3rd and goal from the 6, that's perfectly fine with me, but you have to be going for it the next play. That just feels like they punted on the possession and just settled for the field goal on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know if they expected to get 6 yards on that play.
I don't know.
I did a Twitter space last night. It was late. I don't do those a lot. I just actually Chad Waits, if he pops into the chat, he was drunk and sent me a DM like, you should host a space. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm not doing anything. Next time I will let you know, though. That might have been fucked up on my part. So we were talking, and people were asking me about Zach Taylor, and I did the company man thing. I did the podcaster thing. I said, I'm giving my full take on Zach Taylor on the show tomorrow. You got to tune in. And Andrew Gordon asked if I'm in an alley downtown with a half-eaten sack of hamburger wagon, and if so, mind if I join? I am not. I am about 2 minutes from the hamburger wagon, though, so it's not out of the question. So I don't know. Do I lay it out now, or do we wait? Is there anything more that we should hit before I get into that? Because I'm probably going to talk shit for a minute.
It's okay to talk shit. No, I mean, so offensively, we just look stale. Like let's do offense, defense, and then go
Okay.
on the Zach talk, because I'm probably right there with you. But like I'll start offensively. Like I'm a broken record at this point. We have these weapons. Why aren't we succeeding? Do you know what I mean? I almost tweeted it out last night, but everybody was in a really bad mood. I think it would have just fueled the fire. But like we have the players to execute, and we have all this talent that can execute a properly called game. That's kind of where I'm at offensively. That is where my frustration is. Jamar said it best. I don't know what time we're at, but I'll just say he's always effing open.
We're past the cussing time from YouTube.
Always fucking open.
And I think that clip even started shit last night, because they did what they do, and they posted it. They posted it with no context.
Yeah.
They posted him saying, I'm open. I'm always fucking open. But they didn't put any of the question before and any of Ja'Marr Chase's follow-up after that. He's just saying, I'm doing everything that I can. I feel like I need to, I'm just going to keep doing it, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't as bad as it was made out to be. But, of course, the clip gets the clicks. But there's zero threat of this team going deep.
Yeah.
And defensive coordinators know it. What reason do they have to – they're keeping everything in front of them because they can. There's zero shot for that go ball to Ja'Marr Chase that was a 60-40 ball the last couple years sometimes. You know what I mean? I mean, look at the 2021 season, the Super Bowl season. It was just goes to Ja'Marr more often than not. And Burrow just can't throw him. I don't know how much of it's physical. I think that there is something mental going on too because of the calf, because the guy might be a maniac. He might be a tough ass dude, but it's got to be weighing on your mind when you're playing in an NFL football game and you don't know how much you can trust one of your ligaments.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, the Titans, they just like, I don't think defensively they respected our offense at all. They just kind of covered the flats and the intermediate routes. I mean, you can look at like Jake Lisco posted a picture where they literally had no defensive lineman in the middle. It was wide open in the middle because like they know Joe Burrow's not going to scurry up the middle. You know what I mean? Because he can't move. Like they just knew that we were going to be sort of one-dimensional with Joe's injury, and they like called our bluff basically. Their defense ripped through our offensive line, which sucks because they're good. Like the offensive line is not bad, but they need to come together as a unit. Like we have individual pieces that are talented. They just need to come together as a unit. I trust that they will. I think they will. They usually do. But Joe was holding on to the ball too yesterday. There were a couple times like the sack where he really, really aggressively stepped up into the pocket. And I thought that's going to be a dart. Boom. He's on his back. And it's just frustrating to watch. And I tweeted it out angrily. I said, you got to protect your franchise quarterback, block. And it just sucked to watch. It just felt like his first season when he was getting his ass kicked, and it just sucked to watch.
And when it comes to the offensive line, I have been telling people to relax. for a lot of the season. And then yesterday I was very not relaxed myself. And I hate to do it, but when are we going to have a Frank Pollock conversation? The money's been spent. The players are there. They signed Orlando Brown Jr. They signed Alex Kappa. They signed Ted Karras. So the Bengals as an organization and a scouting department and a front office, whatever you want to call it, clearly recognized that they struggle to draft and develop offensive linemen. They're not good at it. So they said, we'll go spend money for them. And I commend them for that. Know your inadequacies. What can you do to help fix it? But now they're all here. All of the offensive linemen that the Bengals are going to go out and buy are here. Cordell Volson is the homegrown guy, the 4th round product that they're trying to make work. And I'm trying my best to not shit on the guy because he was playing Aaron Donald the week before. Aaron Donald's an alien. Jeffrey Simmons, also very good. But at what point do I stop making that excuse for Cordell Volson and say, well, you're an NFL offensive lineman. You've got to play NFL defensive tackles well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is there left to say?
Yeah. He's had 2 big tests.
Was it Frank?
Yeah, he's had 2 big tests. Volson in particular, however, you got to kind of step up. I wish I could sit here and say I know what it takes to coach offensive line, Orlando Brown, Alex. Yeah, I mean, how? I don't know. I never played offensive line. I never hung out with the offensive line coaches or anything like that. I don't know what they do. You know what I mean? However, is it at the top? I mean, are we looking at an issue with scheming, or is it individuals getting beat? I'm sure smarter guys than us are out there breaking it down, but it's just frustrating to watch.
I'm just looking at the roster construction, and I feel that Duke Tobin and the front office have done as much as they can to solidify this offensive line going on. Now, because when people say the Bengals haven't done anything to fix the offensive line, I ask, who else could they have gone out and signed rather than giving Joe Thuney $80 million to play guard, which the Bengals were never going to do? But you get an Orlando Brown Jr. They went out and got La'el Collins. La'el Collins, things didn't work out. He was playing pretty damn well until he blew his knee out Christmas Eve last year. Kappa got hurt, so injury hasn't helped. But as an organization and a front office, they have stacked the chips on their offensive line. They've made a concerted effort to improve the offensive line. So now all I can do is look at the guy that's getting them ready to play every week. And I love Frank Pollock coming back. I was incredibly excited. But now it's like somebody's got to take accountability for this. And I just refuse to believe, kind of like Sir Boy's comment says, I refuse to believe that Orlando Brown, Alex Kappa, and Ted Karras can be that bad as individual football players. I don't believe it. So I think something else is wrong, whether it's scheme-wise, whether it's technique-wise, something that now, where else do I look other than the offensive line coach?
I think that it's a combination of that, and he is a superstar, and he's our superstar, but we've got a quarterback right now that's not really sure of himself. You know what I mean? So that ball might be getting held too long, and that might not be something that's coachable, because you can only fist fight a guy so long before he's going to get around you, you know? So.
And when you look at Burrow, that's something that is taking into account how the offensive line is going to look when the stats line up, because one of Burrow's biggest powers, superpowers, whatever you want to call it, is his ability to extend plays, evade the rush, get outside the pocket, and scramble. And right now he's not doing it. He can't. We get it. But we're calling these plays to get the ball out of his hands quick. And I'm still watching the guy get hit in the face as soon as he catches the snap. It can't happen. So who is to blame? I refuse to believe that Orlando Brown Jr. got to Cincinnati and just got worse at football. I refuse to believe that Ted Karras took such a step back from last season or something that it's gotten that bad. I think there's something else there. We're calling these quick ass screens, these quick ass dump offs. Burrow's catching the ball, throwing. That's it. And he's still getting pressure immediately. So I don't know if it's communication. I don't know if it's like last year where the first 4 or 5 games it was bad and they got things rolling. there's definitely evidence to say that they can.
Yeah.
But the guys out there already hobbled, regardless of if it was right, wrong, or indifferent. The fact of the matter is what we're looking at is Joe Burrow on the field. We're drawing these plays up because of his limitations. So like something's just off. I don't know where else to look other than what's getting taught to the offensive line during the week. And I hate to pass blame to a coach because, like you said, I played offensive line when I was in like junior high. I was a guard, and then that was it. I played defense primarily the whole time I played football, and that's at a much lower level. So I can't sit here and say I have all the answers. I'm just saying that's where I'm looking.
Yeah, it's a good thought that I have not had yet, and you planted the bug in my head, and it's now something that I'm going to think about too. But because I've just been looking at play on the field, but I mean, you're right. It starts at practice. It starts in the weight room. It starts in film. It starts in scheming and everything, and how you do all that directly correlates to your quarterback either standing there and delivering or wiping dust off his uniform.
Yeah, and Tony says, I'm over 40, best roster of my lifetime. And that's what it is. We're looking at one of the best Bengals rosters ever. And I'm trying to get all the comments up here. We might not be able to read them all, but I'll make sure your comment pops up on the screen. We're going to try to get to all of them. And Mark says, we need a glass eater of an offensive line coach. And that's true because let's just look at it. Bill Callahan in Cleveland has turned DeJuan Jones into a pretty damn solid guy, and everybody had problems with him. So coaching can matter. Cleveland's offensive line isn't quite what it used to be. I didn't see a ton of their games Sunday. I know that they got waxed with DTR starting, but that's been a strength of their team for a long time, and the constant hasn't always been the players. I think the constant has been the offensive line coach.
Callahan. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Brian's son, or Brian's dad.
Yeah. I completely concur with that. Yeah, it sucks.
And sir,
this whole.
Go ahead. Oh.
I mean, should Burrow be out there? I see the comment. Yeah, at this point, yeah. I mean, what do? At this point, what do we sit him? Admit we were wrong, lose the next two, go into the bye, and now we're sitting at 5-1, trying to scrape our way back up. At this point, yeah, the dude's got to play. I don't know. Unless he's severely injured, obviously. To me, it's like if we bench him, I'm very, very, very concerned about the season. I'm concerned right now, but I have a feeling we're going to bounce back. I think we are not playing Bengals football right now, but I think we will. But if we bench him, lose the next two to the Cardinals and then Seattle, and then we're sitting at 5-1, people don't come back from that, dude. Teams don't come back from that. It's just statistically very, very, very difficult. Our 10-run win we went on last year, unprecedented. It's like that's Bengals football. Not to say it's impossible, but it doesn't happen. It's
the NFL, man.
Yeah. It is so hard to get back to the Super Bowl, let alone be one of the teams standing when the dust settles and to get into the playoffs. If we keep playing like this, I don't know how the hell we're even going to get to a wild card shot, but I don't know. I think we're going to get it together. That's where I'm at.
This is the point that I planned on making today, and this isn't like a Sir Boy. This isn't a shot at you by any means. You just brought it up, and it's a point that I'm actually going to make. I've planned on making is whether the Bengals were right or wrong to start Joe Burrow week 1 in Cleveland or not IR him after week 2. When he clearly tweaked the calf and things were rough, it doesn't matter anymore. The conversation just has to stop because all we can live in now is the reality. And the reality is Joe Burrow's out there. Joe Burrow wants to be out there. And clearly the organization hasn't told him that he can't. They're not trying to protect him from himself. So where I'm at, God's honest truth is probably shouldn't have started the season. But he did. So all we can do now is live in the reality that we're faced with. And we have to win these next 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
You have to. You have to beat the Cardinals, and they're not an easy win by any stretch of the imagination. I know it was kind of lopsided against the Niners yesterday, but they beat Dallas. They played the Niners fairly tough. And honestly, looking at the offense I saw from the Bengals yesterday, there's not a team in the league I think they could roll that offense out against and beat.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to. And if you do that, you get to the bye. You hopefully give Burrow the week off. And then guess what? You got a date with Nick Bosa and the Niners. So win those 2 games. You're just going to grit through it. You're going to fight it. You're going to manage it. And you're going to hope nothing terrible happens in San Francisco. But if you lose a game, the season's cooked. Mm-hmm. So if you lose a game, I sit Burrow the year. What is the point? What is the point of sitting Burrow? But something worse happens, let's say. Something worse happens to Burrow. What's the point of the rest of the season? Or if you're sitting at 1-7, so let's see, they're 1-3 now. They use the last 2. You're looking at 1-5. You're going to have to win out damn near to even hope for a wild card, because I know the AFC hasn't performed as well as we thought that it would.
Yeah,
but it's pretty fucking good. And like the Jets might have found something last night. The Browns are good. The Ravens are good. The Steelers are probably frauds, and that's just in the division. So if you can't win 2 of these games with Joe Burrow out there, just shut it down. Punt. Pack it in.
Yeah, that's really scary, man. I hate it. But I mean, it's a point. I mean, it is a point. I don't know. It's just like, what are we? The boys got to heal. I mean, the boys got to heal. Like you said, we got 2 games that are not sure wins. I think we can win the next 2 and go into the bye. And then, man, we got a date with the Niners, just like you said. And then, man, they can kick your ass. Like, they can play football, man. It's a date with San Fran. They could be a horny teenager, and they could just grope us all game and kick our ass, dude. 100%. And it could be a very bad date. And I don't. But we got to get it together, man. And I'm sorry, my euphemism there was ridiculous, but that's how I feel, dude. That's how I feel at this point, man. I feel like we're getting manhandled, and it's gross. It sucks. Like, it just is not fun, dude. Hey, man, this horse has been beat to death. Joey B's is what it is. This offensive line needs to figure it out. How about that defense? What?
I got one more point.
Go.
One more point on Burrow.
All right.
The reason that I say if you can't get both of these next 2 games, I just sit him. What's the point in Joe Burrow playing to fight to go around 500? I get that you're not going to be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but it's just reality. The Bengals are not going to win 10 straight games in the NFL. It's going to be very rarely. So what are we going to do? We're going to run them out there and risk further injury so we can try to fight and maybe get to 500. And you can't get to 500. It's a 17-game season. You either win or you lose unless you get a tie. Yeah. I just at that point, I think you just punt and let the guy rest and hope to God that he can actually get to training camp normal next year.
Jesus Christ, who knows? I mean, what else is on the horizon for his pre-training camp? I don't know, man. Aliens? Is he going to get abducted by aliens and miss training camp? I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to.
Tony makes a good point. To hell taking. I hate that. It's NFL football. Go win a game. I get it. I do get it.
I can't. My pride, and I don't. My pride says that he can't be benched. If he's healthy, I want him out there fist fighting. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just like, it feels like a pride thing. Even with are you good on Burrow? I don't want to hit.
Yeah, we should. We're fucking up.
It's fine. It feels like a pride thing on offense, and it feels like a pride thing on defense too. Like the defense out there, it just sucked to watch too, man. It's just like the arm tackles on Derrick Henry, the hey, let's make Tannehill look like freaking Tom Brady. It was not fun, and I don't think that was a good representation of what our defense is. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. That sucked, but it also, it's just we can't do it. Lou is way too good of a coach. We have way too much talent on defense. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned at all. I think the defense is going to pull back together and be all right. I hope Cam Taylor-Britt's all right. I haven't checked on his injury or to his head or whatever. But that sucked to watch. The defense did not play well.
I think the sad reality is that is a representation of what our defense is so far this year. They've given up 175 rushing yards 3 out of 4 games. Cleveland, Baltimore, and Tennessee. I don't think that that's a representation of the guys on the roster. I don't think that's a representation of what we've come to know, but I think that might be the reality of what our defense is. And I see it's a wrap, laughing emoji, hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. Go fuck yourself.
Oh
fuck
yeah,
that guy.
Yeah, go away. I don't know. That sucks to hear. I don't know that I had that stat in the back of my head. You just whipped out of your butt, the 175 there. I mean, we played Nick Chubb, we played Derrick Henry. I mean, we played all pro stud backs, but still, you got to have some heart. I don't know. Yeah, that
your
sucks.
defense has to stop that. When your offense is clearly limited and hobbled, your defense has to stop that. I mean, and to the point of the defense, I'm going to bring up some of the stats because we probably should have been into our box score breakdown presented by Whodai. That's WHODAI.com by now. They make great graphics for us. They have a phenomenal website where you can get all Bengals content, AI stats on demand, game day information, and more to come. So let's go to the defense because we already talked about the offense. I'm going to show the graphics because Kyle worked his ass on them for us, but I'm going to pull up the defense first because that's the topic that we're on. So we're looking at Nick Scott, 10 total tackles, 9 solo, 1 for a loss. Dax Hill had another solid day, 8 tackles, 3 solo, and an interception. Pratt was 7, 6 solo. Cam Taylor-Britt was 6, 5 solo. Trey Hendrickson was 6, 3 solo, half a sack. Hubbard has 4 solo tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. And then Cheeto had 4 tackles. And rookie watch, Myles Murphy did get into the party, 3 total tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, and a tackle for loss. So it was nice to see Myles Murphy get into the party a little bit. So defensively, I think that there are deeper issues on the defensive side too, because I was saying a lot of how much can you blame the defense if you can't keep them off the damn field? But then it really hit me. I started looking at the numbers and said, oh shit, 175 in 3 out of 4 games is not good, regardless.
Sucks. Yeah. And you got guys. Nick Scott played his ass off. Look at that. Look at those stats. I mean, Murphy's trying. I mean, it's just like we got guys. What is going on? Are we scheming poorly? Like, the consistent thing with me, and I love our coaching staff, but what's at some point the fingers got to get pointed somewhere. What is going on this season in particular? We know what they're capable of. We know Lou is capable of just putting offensive coordinators into a bind and twist them into a pretzel mentally. This is not our team. I know you said I think we're looking at what it is, but I just refuse to believe that that is our brand of football now. And I know you're not saying that, but that cannot be our brand of football. It's like, dude, we were great last year defensively. This is not a thing. It can't be a thing. And maybe I'm in denial and we're struggling this year because we're missing a guy like Jesse Bates who's freaking lighting it up in Atlanta. But it just can't be a thing in my eyes yet. There we go.
Mark asked that question. Do you think losing Bell and Bates hurt more than we want to admit? And
maybe.
I'm ready to have a Nick Scott conversation. I'm going to get through just the rest of the stats here, though, because, like I said, we probably should have done that earlier, but
we're good.
We are who we are, baby.
Yeah.
But the folks over at Whodai do a great job giving us these stats every Monday. Burrow, 20 for 30, 165, 5.5 average, no touchdowns. Hey, no picks.
That's good.
Sacked 3 times for 26 yards, a QBR of 14.3, and a rating of 80.6. And then if you look over at the guys that he's throwing the ball to, Chase 7 for 73. He's always fucking open, so I don't know what's going on there. And then it's just pretty abysmal from there. 4 for Boyd for 26. T unfortunately got banged up with the rib fracture. He did say today that he doesn't think it'll get him out for an extended period of time. And then rushing started looking better. They went away from it again, mixing 14 carries, 67 yards. 4.8 on the average is good. The long run of 13. So I will say that they showed some sort of a commitment to running the ball when they were pretty much waving the white flag. And I thought, well, fuck it. Maybe that could be good, and we could at least build on that.
Mm-hmm. Not today, son. Not today.
Maybe not.
I honestly, like, my heart hurts watching that game Sunday. I don't have much more to say about it. I think my stance is pretty clear. I think we're better than this. I know we're better than this. This is not the Bengals brand of football. And it's must bounce back, must win every damn snap going forward in my eyes. I want to see these guys fight. I want to see Joe Burrow screaming at people like Tom Brady on the sideline. I know he's not always like that, but I'd love to see it. I know we have leaders on the defensive side of the ball. I just want to see some fight.
Fights can come in the form of big hits. So let's end this area of the show on a positive note with
Cincy Hats Wallop of the Week, baby. All right. This is our new segment. All right.
I played that video right over you. I'm so sorry.
No, I was a very short statement. So this is our new segment, Wallop of the Week. Here on Blue Collar Bengals, this is our very first one. Unfortunately, it did come on a loss. However, this Wallop of the Week was a pretty solid hit. Wallop of the Week is brought to you by Cincy Hat, who do wonderful things for adults with disabilities, providing hats. They work with the village of, say it, I can't.
The village of Marici and Indianapolis.
I promised to Ted Karras and the Cincy Hat people I will study that, but my brain, for some reason, cannot take that and put it on my tongue to say out loud because I'm an idiot. They do wonderful things. Teddy Karras works with them. They sell the beautiful hats you see on our heads. Let's take a look at this hit, man. Was not a very
the rock the baby.
Was not a very violent collision. However, BJ Hill rocking the baby there with Trey Hendrickson next to him, getting back there and sacking Ryan Tannehill, which I want to see more of because that is a part of the identity of this defense. I absolutely loved it. He gets in through the middle. Trey curls around on the right side. They wrap up Tannehill and they bury him in the dirt, baby. Absolutely love it. What do you think of that hit, Drew?
I thought it was awesome, and it was probably the last good thing that happened yesterday. So at least we have that.
You'll notice it was a clip from very, very early in the game. Both Drew and I's minds were probably shifted over to cussing at the TV by the time the second quarter rolled around. But that was this week's Wallop of the Week. Again, brought to you by Cincy Hat. Go to the website. Go to the Twitter page. Go find out what Terry Karras is doing. They are doing wonderful things for adults with disabilities. Grab a hat. They have bucket hats, trucker hats, mesh backs, camel hats, you name it. Put it on your head, man. I'm in the white.
They got shirts.
Yep. I'm in the white. Drew's in the black. And we look damn good in these hats because that's what they do. They make you look good.
And if you're watching on the YouTube stream right now, it is on the ticker www.thecincyhat.com. If you're listening on Spotify, because Apple clearly still hates us, we're still not on Apple. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. It's www.thecincyhat.com. Great partner, great hats. I've got tons of them. We gave one away to Jerome. I talked to Jerome today. I was supposed to go do it on my lunch break. My 2-year-old decided she was going to be pissed all day long. So I didn't get to send it out, but I will get that out to you shortly. So shout out to the Cincy Hat. Shout out to BJ Hill. Shout out to Trey Hendrickson. And shout out to the fact that that was the probable last moment of happiness for us on Sunday.
Yes. Oh.
Now, maybe what the people have all been waiting for. I'm going to get through some more comments because when I play the videos, I can't see.
I thought you
can do that.
I thought you were going to take your shirt off.
No, the way my body's set up, it's just, it doesn't, with the camera angle, it just wouldn't look good. It wouldn't do me justice. Sir Boy says that hurt for T. Higgins. Dude just wants to play and is in his contract year. Yeah, that does suck. He did say he doesn't think it'll keep him out for an extended period of time, which is always good. But it still sucked, and it impacted the team quite a bit to not have him out there.
You're missing a pass catcher. I've cracked a rib before. It's not fun. It's as much as you can tolerate is pretty much how that's going to go with T. So we'll see.
Yeah. And then John Cameron, this is a newer commenter, I should say. You guys are great. One thing I can say about our different podcast stars, don't sugarcoat things, and I feel proud to hear you guys say it how it is. Hey, man, we got to call it how we see it.
He called us stars.
Well, that's not right. I'm not a star by any means.
I am living it. I'm a star. I am beautiful. I am kind. And sometimes I say mean things about the team I love, but it's because I'm a star.
Chiefs fan who will remain nameless is still talking shit in the comment.
I don't care.
Yeah. Tony Taphorn left a comment, said wallop. I believe that Tony is a guy that loves a good wallop.
Yeah.
Just from meeting him one time.
It's a fun word.
And Sir Boy said these graphics are 100 emojis. So I think that means that they're good. So shout out to him. He also says that I should be the new OF coordinator. I don't know if I should be an OnlyFans coordinator. I don't know if I have the eye or the talent for it. But if he means offensive coordinator, I also don't have the eye or the talent for that because I am actually just a stooge.
Could you imagine like letting regular guys call play? I would be like, fuck, PA crossers. Hail
yeah. Throw ball far.
Throw ball, yeah. They're 2XL. What did that one say?
Tony said they're 2XL. This is a great comment. I didn't mean to click off it. Their 2XL shirts make fat guys look slim. Follow me for fat kid fashion advice. Hey, I'm in. I'm looking for anything to make me look slim. That's why I'm wearing a hoodie. I feel like people don't know if I'm buff or fat under here. I know I'm fat, but they might think I'm jacked.
Oh, God. Anybody?
So here we are.
Oh, Zac Taylor rant. Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot about this. The floor is yours.
I hate, I'm not trying to steal the spotlight, steal the show or anything, but this is just where I got to say it.
I just said I'm a star, so you be a star as well.
I am by no means calling for Zac Taylor to be fired. Zac Taylor has engineered a great culture turnaround. Zac Taylor has brought this team the most success that I've seen in my adult life. I have a deep appreciation for what Zac Taylor has done for this team, this city, the franchise, all of that. Players will run through a brick wall for him, not the fake one that's behind me that I got on Amazon.
Real.
A real one, a real brick wall. Players love him. I think that he manages games fairly well. I think he manages the clock fairly well. I think for the most part, he manages his timeouts fairly well. I think for the most part, he and the guys upstairs decide when to throw and not throw the challenge flag pretty well. I think Zac Taylor is a good head coach. With that being said, I think he has to get out of his own way and get out of the offensive play calling. Just get out of it. Because let's be real. It's time. It's 1-3. It's hard truth season. Joe Burrow has masked a lot of the inadequacies of this offense, a lot of the bad calls from this offense. Joe Burrow has been able to erase with his athleticism, with his brain, with his talent, and right now that's not there. I go back to the first time, the first big Chiefs game in the 2021 season where Bengals beat the Chiefs at home, clinched the division. I felt that whole last drive that Zac Taylor was trying to lose the game. Some of the decisions, the calls, there have been times where I'm like, Zac, what are we doing? And then a play gets made, we win the game, we don't think about it. So I think that Zac Taylor is a good head coach in the NFL. I think that the Bengals play calling that is so involved with Zac, with Brian Callahan, with Dan Pitcher, maybe it's too muddled. Maybe there are too many cooks in the kitchen and too many voices in the headset. I don't know. I think the best thing for the Bengals would be, whether it's Brian Callahan or not, Zac hands the keys to the offense and is a head coach and has an offensive coordinator. If it's a guy that fits his system and his vision so they can work cohesively, that's fine. But I think it might be time to just hand the keys over, be the head coach, manage the team, keep them locked in, have them ready to go on Sundays, and then you have veto power over anything if you absolutely feel like you need to. I don't know what is so wrong with that. Not everybody can be Andy Reid, and that's okay. Andy Reid's a Hall of Fame head coach.
Yeah.
He can call plays and be a head coach and do a damn good job of it. I don't know, man. And that I'm not knocking the guy. I'm not shitting on him. I think Zac Taylor is the man to lead the Cincinnati Bengals as their head coach. I truly, truly do. I just don't know if he should be the one that calls the plays. And I don't think that's wrong to say. I don't think that's fair weather. I don't think that's me trashing him, trashing the team or anything. I just think that maybe this is a wake-up call where he's like, maybe I should just hand the keys to somebody. Is it Brian Callahan? And maybe he proves his worth and goes on to be a head coach. Maybe that's the case. And I know that you risk losing your good offensive coordinator if the offense does well. That's the name of the game. That's just where I'm at with Zac. I love Zac. Zac has done a phenomenal job for this city, for this franchise, giving the game balls out, connecting with fans, doing everything that you want from the guy that is leading your program. I just think offensively it should be one guy's job. Mm-hmm. And there's my Zac Taylor rant.
Yeah. You got to try it. You got to try it at this point, maybe, right? I mean, like, because it's like, I don't know the statistic of head coaches that are playing calls in the NFL. I assume it's the majority. But if you've got, like, if we're to the point where, like, national media, like on Kay Adams, you've got, gosh darn it, was it Luan? I can't remember if it was Taylor Luan. You got
Taylor Luan today, yeah.
Yeah, if you got guys like that openly saying the play calling is not good and it doesn't make sense, guys that have been in the league, granted he's not right now, whatever, I'm just hearing it from multiple places. At least maybe let Callahan try. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's a pride thing or if it's just Zac, like, this is my team, this is how it is, this is how it's going to go. I get it. I've worked for leaders like that, and that's not a bad leadership trait. And Zac is my coach. I'll brand myself in Zac we trust. I love him, and I love what he has done for this city and this team. He is amazing. But when I talk about leadership, and I say a good leadership quality, I also have to maybe look and think, what is a bad leadership quality? And maybe it's, and I'm not saying he is, this is a shot in the dark, maybe it's not recognizing the fact that a change might need to be made pretty quickly. And if you make the change and the change doesn't affect the team in a positive way, look elsewhere, right? But we are at a point where for the past, 3 years, even our good years, we look at some of the drives we have, and I know we've only got like 5 minutes left in this show, so I'll let you talk after this. We look at some of the drives we have, and you and I can both sit here as probably some of the most simple-minded Bengals fans and say, what the hell? What are we doing? What is that? Why did we run there? How many screens are we going to run? And I agree with you. Zac Taylor is my head coach, but it might be time to see who else can call plays.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's just, it's being willing to admit that you're wrong or you have too much on your plate or whatever. But when you have a team with this much talent and this high of expectations, because the standard in Cincinnati is now a Super Bowl. It's not get to the playoffs and break the drought anymore. It's not win the division anymore. Mm-hmm. It's win a fucking Super Bowl with this loaded roster full of talent. So if it comes down to it and he has to look in the mirror and say, maybe I'm part of the issue, I need to hand this off, then that's what it takes, because they ask their players to do whatever it takes to get a win, whatever it takes to get through that last rep, whatever it takes to be ready on Sunday, then the coaches have to do it too.
Try it. At least try it. If it doesn't freaking work, then it doesn't work, and I'll sit here and eat shit. If it's because we're not good right now and we need to get it together as a team or get chemistry and all this shit, then I'll sit here and I'll eat it. I'll eat crow, but I at least try it. The definition of insanity, I'm stealing Taylor Lewan's quote here, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. And I feel like we're in Groundhog's Day. Every year, every game, it gets brought up. What the hell was that play call? Why did 4 of our drives feel like we were trying to throw the ball backwards? Try it.
Yeah.
Get a shot. Do it at practice. Let him do a scrimmage, a safe scrimmage where nobody gets hurt. Let Callahan run the play. I'm sure they do, but like let him run it. Call the plays, see if it works. Give him a quarter. Give him the first quarter of the Cardinals game. If it's not working, Zach, take it over. Got it. Go back to it. But give him a half. Like do something. Something has to change. And I think the play calling discussion is a fair discussion. And you're not a piece of shit bandwagon fan if you can look in the camera here and say something has to change. Or we need to make attempts to change something, right? It doesn't mean it's right, or it doesn't mean it's going to work 100%. But if it does,
exactly. And I think that Kevin makes a good point. A stat from Pat McAfee show today, which I also saw too, 34% of Burrow's passes were at or behind the line of scrimmage. Can't have it. Yeah, you can't have it.
That's crazy.
You can't have it. Sir Boy says that a change is needed, and I think that that's probably where we're at, because just some of the things that Burrow brings that can mask some of the inadequacies just aren't there. Mark says it's time for Taylor to hand the keys to the Ferrari to somebody who knows how to drive it. And that could be it. And that's not me. I'm not calling for Zach Taylor's head, man. I think it would take a lot for Zach Taylor to get fired from this team just because of what he's done.
Yeah.
But this ain't working, dude. Try it.
I want Taylor to be coaching this team for as long as he can, but we got to figure out play calling. Maybe it's just, and maybe it's not even the play calling during the game, because like you say, he's a great game manager. Maybe he needs to crack open his playbook and just start ripping pages out. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe the boys need to get together on a freaking weekend, go to the lake, the coaching staff, have some no free ads Cincy Light, and just sit there and look at the playbook and be like, dude, this thing's a piece of shit. It's not winning. Let's rip this screen out. Let's replace it with some slants. Let's send Jamar up the seam. Let's get creative. Call Joe Goodberry. I don't know.
Smart guy.
Do something. I'm willing to try anything. Call a smart guy like Goodberry. You know what I mean? Or something like that. That's crazy and outlandish. They're never going to call Goodberry, so don't take that to the grave. But, like, do something. And I think I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. So I'll hand the reins over to you if you want to close us out here. But something has to change. I'll close out with the Who Day. And again, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. Go.
I will end this show by making it clear what I always make clear when times get tough, and I put the tweet out every time. Cincinnati Bengals, I love you no matter what. Who Day.